My dearest brothers and sisters. This is Commander Hakann speaking. I greet you in peace and love. I would like to share a story. When it was a child, an elephant was tied to a pole. The child elephant tried to free itself from the pole, but it could not. It was not strong enough. So it learned that it was stuck to the pole and it could not free itself. Then the elephant grew up. The elephant was big now, and very, very strong. It was easily strong enough that it could just rip the pole out of the ground. But it did not do that. It never tried to free itself from the pole. Why is that? The elephant never tried to free itself from the pole, because it had learned as a child that it could not do that. And now as an adult, the elephant did not try to free itself again, even though at this time the elephant was easily strong enough to free itself. So too is it with many earthlings. When you were a child, people tried to tie you to a pole, which is a metaphor for being trapped in the routines and the worldviews of society. As a child, you repeatedly said no. But you weren't strong enough back then. You learned that you could not resist being tied to a pole. But now you're a strong adult. Now you easily can free yourself from that pole. You can easily free yourself from any undesired routines and worldviews that society tries to impose on you. Society is just a brittle little pole, and you are an immensely strong elephant. If you actually try, you can free yourself from any societal routines or worldviews. Of course, the choice is yours. We are not saying you have to start or join an intentional community somewhere. If you choose, you can remain living in society, you can have a normal job, etc. But you are free to pick and choose which societal routines and which societal worldviews you adopt. Just be aware that actions have consequences, and that harming others means harming yourself. But other than that, you are free to shape your life as you see fit. If society tries to tie you to a pole, you are more than powerful enough to refuse. The story of the elephant illustrates something else. Namely, the elephant thinks that it's just some helpless weak animal that doesn't really have a choice other than go through the daily motions. Whereas in reality, the elephant is a very strong creature that can easily rip the pole out of the ground and dramatically change its life, if it so chooses. You all have so much more potential than you realize. You really can do nearly anything you put your mind to. If I was able to show you a vision of what your life could be if you consistently worked on bettering yourself, most of you would weep from happiness. Then you'd diligently work towards achieving that goal, and due to your consistent action, you would achieve your dream life. The key word there is consistency. It's usually not effective to decide, okay, from now on I'm going to spend many hours every week on bettering myself or on achieving my dream. You may be able to do that for a short while, but then your willpower muscle is depleted and you drop your entire intention. What's much more effective is to add a routine that actually feels feasible and realistic. If that means that you're just adding half an hour of additional work every week, great, start there. Once that new routine doesn't feel particularly burdensome or challenging anymore, you can always expand that routine or add a new one. Earthlings tend to overestimate how much they can change their life in a week, and underestimate how much they can change their life in a year. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have your entire life sorted out next week. All we suggest is working consistently on bettering yourself or working consistently towards your dream, by investing a weekly amount of time and energy that feels realistic. Starting small is absolutely fine, you can always expand your routines and efforts later. Slow and steady really does win the race. If you consistently work on bettering yourself or on achieving your dream, you will get there faster than you think. And if you're not sure what you should be doing or how much time you should be investing, you can always think or say, "Heart, what should I do today?" The answer that you receive immediately is the one from your heart. In fact, for many of you it would be a good experiment to ask that question every single day for a month and then do what it says. After a month you can evaluate if you like the results and if you wish to continue with that routine. Think of it as an experiment. You are incredibly powerful and loving beings. You can do nearly anything you put your mind to. If you work consistently on bettering yourself or work consistently towards achieving your dream, you will absolutely significantly improve your life. You will look back one day and think, I am so grateful that I started to turn my life around at that point, because I am so much happier now than I used to be. You can do it. I leave you today with all my love and well wishes. I respect you very much. I know that Earth is tough, but I also know that you are all very strong elephants. Your star brother, Hakann.